and take outdoor, and it's oddly quiet here. I mean, year to year to year, like, yeah. Above, prior Dennis, it was never like this, but he was getting this, and I noted it written wise, without name, yet due to circumstance, because he knocked on my door, because he lived in 612 before the Tanya or Miss Virginia. I don't make a sound. I'm knocked out at night. Yeah, okay? That's the current timeline slide. Very recent, because that goes back like just only 5 years, if that. Which correlates and coincidingly says, can we question, is there a correlation to what has been going on the 5th floor, on the other stack next to me? Because we heard personal information, my daughter's name, and then some, repetitively for years. Okay? Is this non-emotional enough for you all? Because I do believe David Chamberlain has been placed in a position, a crux of, how do you know? What do you know? When do you know? Even when it's unrecognizable. Because assumptively, some of these local individuals that are professionals, I cannot say I have faced them, but purposefully, they may been able to position themselves strategically in a social moment to say unexpectedly and unknowing, no prompt, no irritation. I don't see how this individual is a social disruptor. And you have to say social disruptor, because these people are complaining about circumstances that contain themselves in a multi-stackable and building unit that is, to some, an entire city, community, an entity of homeowners in themselves. And guess what? If you can just go somewhere and pay the same differential, why cannot that be recognized and organized in a housing situation? Because I am looking at paperwork that seems to cost a real professional time away from other things that are not yet determined. But this, as I sit here with my 2025 Section 8 certificate, and then the question to eviction of why isn't it enough, as I try and attempt to sit here quietly and, I thought I was looking for one man and a marriage and just kind of pulling myself out of, government obligation to say, someone's got head of household and I can, I'm there. I'm not distracted. I'm not just pretending. Why? Why is that so disturbing to another's lifelong career without getting political or correct or assumptive or, assuming I have any, talent of worthy? I mean, if I'm just below that, what is the obstruction when you see 9/10 of my effort has gone into paper, ink, marker, colored pencil, and listening to many other channel efforts on, respectively, and only to YouTube, where the distortion really was recognized by myself. If I am 55 years old, the only land I've known, the education that I accepted through arrival, and anything that I take on, anything that I gravitated towards, said, okay, that's acceptance. We saw EMT come. We learned first responder techniques. We were not out of the 6th grade. Okay? That's first grade through 6th grade. That's 12 years old. We were shown what everyone was attempting to survive within and against, and then we were allowed to, in our own neighborhood, do track and field games. In the school, we did our science experiments. We heard this disruption and temperament of the school teachers, and then we had the backup of medicine coming in, and we were all assessed at the same time. You're talking the 1970s, so you cannot no longer assume where the attitudinal results that you're still recognizing and coming up against would not face you. It's a combination, and you really cannot single out any part of the global atmosphere to say that's not affected. So you have to say, and we still can't determine, what is the greater good? What is the lesser of the evil? Body count to what? Fuel need, consumption, restriction, population. Come on. Because are there known factors that there are vehicles that can take some and place them in another struggle environment that says, well, shoot, you know, what's it costing anyone? What is it costing anyone at this point? Because I was convinced not to be emotionally or socially or physically attached to something. Let go of everything. Yeah. You'll own nothing and like it. Only if you can come around and return and say, there is in 2025 a greater good. Please tell us